So guys, let's get right into the meat and potatoes part of this video. You guys know I love the city of Da Nang. The cost of living is amazing. The beach life is amazing. Food, people, safety, everything is great here. As I shoot this video, it is February 11th, one day before I go and pay rent or look for a new apartment. Almost every month, you guys see a new uploaded rental video of me looking at apartments, partially to show you guys what's available here, and partially because we are looking to downgrade and go to a one-bedroom apartment. But I'm gonna get straight to the point. This month, we didn't really look for apartments that much, partially because we do have a out-of-town trip that we're gonna take. We're going to the city of Hue, Vietnam, just about 3 hours up the road. We're gonna take a train on that. And the other reason is I've noticed rental prices here are definitely increasing. So that's the big takeaway that I've noticed on these apartment rental searches that I've been doing for the past couple months. I think it all started about 5 or 6 months ago. I noticed landlords were starting to ask more for rentals in An Thuong and also a little bit south of the An Thuong neighborhood. And I kind of just thought, you know, I brushed it off. I kind of thought some owners were here and they were kind of just trying to get a little bit more or trying to recoup some money that they possibly lost during COVID or anytime after COVID opened up. But it's become a habit now. I've noticed a couple of things. The first one is landlords are asking for much more money than what I've ever seen prices go for in Da Nang. I noticed this probably back in September was the first time that I kind of seen rental increases on an apartment that was should have went for like between 6 and 8 million VND. And these places were going for, or at least being asked by the landlord for like 8, 9, even 10 million, which kind of shocked me, and I just kind of blew it off. To give you guys a quick reference point on money, I've lived here for about on and off a year and a half, and I've noticed basically this is kind of my standard kind of checklist on money. A studio you can get for probably around $225, shouldn't pay more than about $275 in this beach area. A one bedroom you might be able to get for about $275, but expect a little bit higher, up to about $350 in a one bedroom. And a two bedroom should run you about $425, no more than $550, $600 max for a two bedroom. And that's if you're right here on the beach, the main hub of An Thuong. But I've noticed now, especially since looking for a one bedroom apartment, I've noticed that a lot of these landlords are trying to charge starting out at 9 million, 10 million, and even 11 million for a one bedroom, which is insane. It's definitely not the norm. I'm not sure how long this trend's gonna last, but it definitely is not what I remember, and it is not normal to see those prices for one bedrooms. Now, let me give you a reference on what we pay. We've been at this place for about a year, no contract. We just kind of keep extending month to month at our condo, and we pay 14 million, which includes everything though. So 14 million equivalent to US dollars is about 550 US dollars, but that includes electricity, that includes management fee, rent, Wi-Fi, water, everything. So we're one block from the beach. We have an amazing city view, kitchen, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. We have everything, right? So we're paying $550 for a 2 bedroom. When I'm looking lately, I am finding one bedrooms that are going for 10 or 11 million. Any of you planning a trip to Da Nang in the next 60 days? Well, book a free 30-minute video consultation with me to get all the information you need to settle in smoothly. During this call, I'll provide personalized advice and answer any of the questions you have about traveling or living in Da Nang. So don't hesitate to book your free consultation today. The link is in the description below. which is basically like $375 up to about $450 in that range, right? And people say, well, yeah, move out, man, you'll save 75 bucks. But when you break it down to value, the value isn't there at that price at a one bedroom, because I'm losing a bathroom, I'm losing a bedroom, I don't pay a security deposit at my current place, and I am on a month-to-month lease. So for me to lose a bathroom, lose a bedroom, to save 70 bucks, 60 bucks a month, which is basically two US dollars a day, is not worth it, especially when you add in the fact that I would have to pay a security deposit, which I don't do now, and I have to sign a minimum of a 3-month lease. And I would lose a lot and gain nothing, basically. And any of you guys that are coming out here to Da Nang, I really, really recommend a couple of things. The first one is just a standard general rule. Never rent something before you see it. So don't book something for a month or 3 months while you guys are back in the USA or whatever home country you're at. Make sure you come and see it. The other one is negotiate. So kind of the long and short of this, I believe what's happening, in my personal opinion, is two things. One, I believe the landlords are raising their price and they're holding out. So what they're doing is they say they want, let's call it 10 million, right, for a one bedroom. If they can't get it, instead of saying, okay, we're gonna have to lower it down to 9 million, someone offered me 9, let me take it. They're not doing that. They're simply sitting on the property and they're basically saying, hey, I'll let my property sit 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, however months it takes. It's kind of a stubborn attitude to have of, I'll just let it sit. If you don't want to pay me what I want, I'll just let it sit. I don't care that I'm losing 9+ million a month on rent that nobody will pay me, and I'll just sit on it. From a Western perspective, especially an American, we don't understand that. We're in the boat of, hey, I can't get 10, let me get 9 for it. At least I can get someone in this apartment. I'll recoup some of the money back. Maybe next month or 2 months, whenever this contract's up, I will go ahead and rent it out and try to get 10 again. That's not happening here. That's definitely not happening here. They are, what's the saying? They're willing to cut off their nose despite of their face, because they're willing to not rent it out and get $0 a month than to rent it for 1 million, aka $40 less. So it's kind of a weird thing that I'm noticing here. In a few Asian countries, I've noticed that if they can't get what they want, then they'll just say, hey, I'll sabotage myself and not rent it out. And it's like kind of a weird thing coming from an American. The second main issue that I'm really, really starting to lean towards is a lot of Eastern Europeans and Westerners are snatching up some of these houses or rentals, and they're just overpaying from the start. They're just simply overpaying from the start. And it's just a bad logic, because what it does is it gives these landlords a new starting point of how much they can charge for their rent. So let's say these apartments are 7 or 8 million, right? These new Westerners that maybe have never been to Da Nang, maybe never negotiated, maybe they have a lot of money, maybe they live in the USA, and they're using an unfair logic to say, hey, in the USA, this place would be $2,000 a month. Sure, no problem, I'll pay $1,000. I say 50% from USA. That logic is really, really flawed for multiple reasons. You're not getting the same amenities, you're not getting the same customer service. It's a third world country. You're just not getting the same across the board. Some of these places will have mold, some of these places won't be taken care of. Back in the USA, I can speak for myself, for the USA, if you had a problem, they would always take care of it. Customer service is going to be great. You're going to have security there. So there's a difference. I think the combination of these two things is what's driving the price of rent up. One, like I said, is the landlords are holding out. They're being selfish or stubborn, whatever you guys want to call it. and they're willing to lose 2, 3, 4 months in a row of not renting a place out. We've seen places like this where an agent will say, hey, this place hasn't been rented for 3 or 4 months. And I know deep down the reason why is because they're asking too much for it. No one's willing to pay for it. But they're willing to just sit on it and wait till one person will pay that. And they're going to create a new, oh, okay, someone will pay $10 million for it. So from now on, it'll be $10 million. And the other aspect is foreigners are coming in and they're just throwing down money. And they're saying, oh, well, I'm saving 50%. I'll come here. And it's really, really increasing the rent here. So you're going to ask, what's the solution? So I've already been thinking about this. 2 different things. One, you're going to have to either increase your rent or you're going to have to be smarter about the places you look for. So simply saying, I'm not willing to move to Sun Tra, which I understand is much cheaper. It's still on the beach, but you miss everything in this area. So for me, moving out of the An Thwang area is not an option for me. For 2, I do look very hard. I go through all kinds of different options and avenues of how to find places. I do notice the second option a lot more people are considering. So we just spoke to a friend of ours, Marcus, last night, and he is debating, or actually I think he is leaving the city of Da Nang. He just came maybe 2 months ago, and he's finding problems with these rental prices increasing, and he's going to go down to Nha Trang. Like I said, we're going to go up to Hue, not for a permanent move, just for a quick short trip, but I'm going to go look at a couple other cities. I'm not saying I'm moving. It's not even in the back of my mind yet, but I do think this is going to be a fork in the road for the city of Da Nang, because one of the greatest selling points of Da Nang was the cheap cost of living. And I definitely see the beginning point of where landlords are trying to ask for more money, and I definitely see it. I'm not saying these cheaper deals aren't out there. I'm not saying you couldn't be smart and find them, but they're going to have to kind of be found in a different way. You're going to have to kind of get a little more creative on how you find things. You're going to have to negotiate more. And a lot of these Western tourists don't have it in them. It's inbred into Americans and Westerners. Hey, we don't negotiate. It's disrespectful. It makes us look cheap. And those are the people that are actually hurting the rental economy here, because they're throwing down market price or above market price to rent some of these apartments. And then there's a new baseline for these rental agents and landlords to start creating a new higher market. So the question is, what are you guys going to do? What am I going to do? What is everyone else going to do? Like I said, you have the option to either go to Sun Tra, you can go across the river, or you can look harder here in An Thwang, right? Or the other option is, I believe some people are going to kind of choose the simpler route and start leaving Da Nang. I'm not sure how many people are going to do that and just kind of pack up and leave Da Nang, but I know it's a lot of people's options, and it's starting to weigh on a lot of people's mind. We have another guy that his rent just got bumped up $1 million, which is only about $40, but it's just kind of the point of like, hey man, I've been here. I know what the real price is, and some people are starting to see the writing on the wall. So I just kind of wanted to discuss that, because we aren't really going to have a new rental video this month, because simply we were a little busy with multiple things, and we just couldn't find anything we liked. We found the places in our building, but they were asking too much. And I've noticed this trend for about 5 or 6 months now. I love everything about our apartment. And now you might say, why are you leaving then? Because I would like to save $150 to $200 a month, especially while the channel is growing. As I made clear on several videos and live streams, I'm still not breaking even on the monthly money that I put out every single month in Da Nang. So up until that point, I would like to kind of cut my bills back until we can start breaking even. So that's the reason That's the only reason, literally, of why I'm looking to downgrade our rent and go down to a 1-bedroom. It's to save a little bit of money and start breaking even on the channel. We're gonna have to kind of monitor this situation and see, like, hey, what's going on? Is Da Nang gonna keep going up in price? Are people gonna leave? But I think it's a financial tug of war. For me, still in the end of the day, Da Nang is the city that I want to be in. It offers all my requirements. It checks all the boxes that I love to be in. But you're going to have to get a little more smarter or have deeper pockets. So that's kind of the takeaway from this video. I just wanted to fill you guys in because I know a lot of you guys are either planning on coming out or you watch my videos and tell me how much you want to come out here. It's not all doom and gloom at all. The cost of living is still way cheaper than the USA or Western countries. And the increase that I'm actually kind of talking about overall on these increases per month is probably between $40 and $100 per month, realistically in that price range. So if you guys have the big bucks or you guys have negotiating skills, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, but it definitely is something that I think needs to be spoken about and thought about, because no one's really bringing it up right now. But I've noticed this trend over the past few months that landlords are holding out, they're raising the prices, and many, many, many more foreigners than I've ever seen in the past year and a half are here. So I think a combination of those three are creating the perfect storm of rental prices increasing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And I really appreciate it. And I'll keep my eyes and my ears open for you guys and make sure that you guys are updated on all the rental news and anything that's going on and happening here in Da Nang. So once again, thank you guys very much. I appreciate that you guys stayed around all the way to the end of this video. Once again, thank you guys very much and happy travels.